it's Yoshia here at Spirit University, and today I'll be digging a little deeper into mediumship, and I'll be talking to you about two different types of mediumship. And if you're new to mediumship, you may not know yet about the fact that mediumship is a very broad subject and it has depths to it. And what we see on TV is simply a small aspect of mediumship. And even within two types of mediumship that I'm going to be talking about, there are so many different ways of working with spirit. And if you are wanting to unfold your mediumistic abilities, it's important that you know the difference between the two types of mediumship so that you can decide in what capacity you would want to explore your working with spirit. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and please do so, and especially if you are wanting to embark on a journey of unfolding your mediumistic abilities and use the abilities to make a positive difference, and you would definitely want to subscribe to this channel, as I'll be sharing with you my experiences and how-tos of working as a professional medium. And if you like the video, and be sure to give a thumbs up, and I'll appreciate you very much for doing that. Alright, let's get into two different types of mediumship. And there are two types of mediumship. One is mental mediumship and the other one is physical mediumship. Now let's start with mental mediumship first. A mental mediumship is a process of blending the spiritual energies and minds of incarnate and discarnate souls in the spirit world, which means simply blending the spiritual energies and minds of the living and the departed. In other words, it is communication of spirits with a medium by telepathy. And the medium mentally hears and sees and feels information and messages from spirits. And directly working with spirits, or with the help of spirit guide, the medium passes the information on to the message's recipients. Important aspect of mental mediumship is that it's a mind-to-mind communication, and only the medium perceives the information given by spirits. Again, with mental mediumship, only the medium perceives the information. Now, mental mediumship falls under two different classes, and they are perception and control. With perception, the medium becomes aware and conscious of the communicating spirit by means of her ability to mentally see and hear and feel spirits. When it comes to control, the medium is subject to various degrees of trance. And what I mean by this is that the mind of the medium is strongly influenced by the energies of spirit control or spirit guides. And it's where the communicating spirit steps within the medium's aura, energy field, and directly influencing the medium's mind and thoughts being delivered. And the spirit can even alter the sound of medium's voice. Isn't that amazing? And during a control phenomenon, the medium has the awareness of thoughts coming through, but she may not have clear recall of all the messages conveyed while in an altered state of awareness. And again, when it comes to mental mediumship, only the demonstrating medium is able to see and feel and hear and know the information given by spirits, but not anyone else. So mental mediumship requires the mind of the medium to be used during any given spirit communication. And I must add that even though only the demonstrating medium is able to perceive spirits, when a highly experienced medium blends with a discarnate, and people generally can feel their loved one's energy very strongly. Now let me share with you some examples of mental mediumship. And some examples of mental mediumship are a psychic art, and this is where a medium perceives a spirit person or the symbols or spirit-inspired images, and the medium can draw them on paper accurately. And inspirational writing, and this is where you are mentally inspired to write something like a poem or a book, and ideas just flow into your mind. And another one is automatic writing, and this is where your hand gets controlled by a communicating spirit, and your hand moves and produces incredible writing and messages and drawing. Another thing is that the healing. The healing is actually a form of mental mediumship. And the healing includes absent healing and contact healing and distant healing. And they're all part of mental mediumship. Now, trance, which comes under control, is also part of mental mediumship. And overshadowing is another one, which is a unique spiritual phenomenon, and It's part of mental mediumship as well. And this is where spirit's energy comes so close to an individual that the person is overshadowed by the spirit, meaning that a medium can actually see the spirit over the person. So the example of this is when I was meditating with my friend from Ireland, and who's also a medium, and one evening we did spirit attunement exercise together. And during the meditation, I had this urge to open my eyes. And when I saw my friend, who has a very fair skin, obviously she was in the middle of spirit attunement. And when I saw her, and she was this dark, huge dark skinned African man wearing beautiful kanzu, the traditional clothes worn in part of Africa. So overshadowing was done so perfectly that I didn't see my friends for a few seconds, which startled me quite a bit at the time. And that experience was really something. All right, moving on to physical mediumship. With physical mediumship, a medium comes under the control of spirit, and everyone becomes aware of the information given by the spirits. And remember, with mental mediumship, only mediums become aware of spirit, but with physical mediumship, everyone in the room becomes aware of spirit. And with physical mediumship, it is not the mind of the medium that is used for spirit communication, but typically the energy of the medium in the form of ectoplasm is used to produce various physical phenomena. Now, ectoplasm is a living cellular substance, a liquid-like substance that comes out from the medium's body. And using the ectoplasm, and discarnate spirits are able to manifest and take in the shape of a hand or face or full body figure even. And in this case, the mind of the medium is in fact suspended, meaning that the medium is unconscious, so there is no possibility of mind reading whatsoever. Now, physical mediumship is the most convincing form of mediumship that a sitter can experience. Now, physical mediumship can take place through a medium with extremely enhanced psychic abilities. And physical mediumship is very rare nowadays. In the 1800s and early 1900s, there were so many excellent, authentic physical mediums like Helen Duncan and Leslie Flint. And they were able to produce amazing physical phenomena in a broad daylight, not in a pitch dark room where you cannot see anything. Now, some of the examples of physical mediumship are trumpet. Now, trumpet mediumship is where spirits make a voice box and out of ectoplasm, and the voice box is placed with the long metal or aluminum cone to amplify the voice of spirits. Now, trumpet works as a megaphone, which amplifies the voice produced by spirit. Another physical mediumship example is transfiguration. And using the medium's ectoplasm as spirit, let's say your deceased loved one in a spirit world creates their face, which is placed in front of the medium's face, and everyone present will be able to see it, and which is absolutely amazing. And another example of physical mediumship is levitation. The levitation is rising of the human body in the air. And human body is lifted in the air through the power of spirit. So for example, in 1800, there was an amazing Scottish medium, Daniel Douglas Hume, D.D. Hume, and he was able to levitate in the broad daylight in front of a bunch of skeptic scientists, and being able to fly out of a window of a third floor building and fly back into the room, and which is absolutely amazing. And who can do that nowadays, right? Another example is apportation, and this means that an object is taken from one location and placed in another location. So for example, let's say that a particular object was at your friend's house in Scotland, and the exact same object was transported to Hawaii, where you live, through the power of spirit. And all of a sudden, it appeared in your room. And another one is telekinesis, and which is simply a movement of object. And the next one is the spirit artist, and this is where the spirit portrait is produced without even touching the canvas or paint by a medium. And the spirit uses psychic energies and the mediumistic power of the medium to produce incredible phenomena. And the next one is direct voice. And the direct voice is where a voice box is created using a medium's ectoplasm, which is placed in front of the medium, so it's around here. So deceased loved ones' voices come out from the voice box and can be heard by everyone in the room. Now, can you imagine your deceased loved one's voice coming out from the medium's voice box? I mean, wouldn't that be amazing? Now, moving on to materialization and the creation or appearance of matter from unknown sources. And in my opinion, the materialization gives the best evidence of survival above all forms of mediumship. The materialization requires the use of the medium's ectoplasm, which is manipulated by communicating spirits and transformed into ectoplasmic figures. Now, what I mean by this is that those figures can be perceived or even touched by anyone during a seance. And these materialized figures have facial and bodily features, and people in a seance can actually have conversation with the communicating spirits, the materialized figures. And the medium who was able to produce this type of phenomena was Florence Cook. And again, that's in the past, but she was a great medium in 1800s. Now, as you can imagine, this type of mediumship can result in profound healing and spiritual experiences. Now, once a person experiences the power of spirit in such an incredible way, and it's really hard to deny the survival of consciousness and the eternalness of the human soul. Now, I do hope that this episode has somehow helped expand your awareness. And thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. And if you like watching videos like this, make sure to press the subscribe button so you get a notification every time I post a new video. And also feel free to check out my Facebook because I post there daily and we can inspire each other there. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time.